What is going on out there, YouTube fragrance family? Hope you're doing great, looking good, smelling good, and feeling good. Today, guys, we are looking at something spectacular and quite special. As you know, if you watched a couple of my recent videos, I've been getting into the Oud fragrances, and I thought I would add this lovely, fantastic, or we'll see if it's fantastic, John Varvatos Oud 4.2, 125 ml. This is a fantastically gorgeous box. Guys, this retails, I think full retail on this is worth about $185. All the way up, I think I saw one website asking $200 or $225 for it. Got this on a really highly trusted discounters for, I believe, $75 all in. And this is easily the best bottle I have ever owned, bar none. It is absolutely spectacular. This base is sort of like I don't know, fake velvet or whatever. So you can set your bottle in there. It's quite heavy. This is not a light bottle. The outer casing is, well, I believe the screen here is real metal, and this part and this part are plastic, but they're designed to look and sort of feel like metal. The cap has a fleur de lis, French symbol of royalty. This cap, guys, is maybe one of the nicest and heaviest I've ever had the pleasure of looking at and holding. I mean, this thing literally weighs like, I don't know, like 12 ounces or something. It's incredibly heavy. Very high quality. Let's see, can it pick up any detail? Just a fan, and this is actually three-dimensional. It's not merely like an imprint or a sticker, nor a painting. I mean, this, dude, guys, this is uber high-end quality. And then right there it says John Varvatos Oud. Can I get it to focus? Anyways, not mission critical. Let's talk about the nose briefly before we get into it, because we got some interesting things to say about the fragrance, I hope. Nose on this was Rodrigo Flores Roux, or Rouge, I think in Catalan. He did a beautiful, well, not that, okay. The bottles of one of the lines that he worked on was Aids de Venustas, or Aides de Venustas. Which I think is a play on both Greek and Latin, but maybe just Greek, I'm not for sure. Willet Bengal, unisex. Those are gorgeous, gorgeous bottles, and they are not cheap for anyone who's ever looked at Aids de Venustas. I think those start at around $200 a pop, possibly north of there if you're not careful. He did Ether, Methaldone, also a unisex frag. Alfred and Hoff, for the Four Men, and also number 2, which was the blue juice. The original was the amber. He did some Arquiste, including Anima Dulcis, and Botanier, number 7. Both of those were unisex. El and Ella. Obviously, the Ella is a woman, the El is a man. And Esencia del Palacio, Fleur de Lis, Floricanto, J. Crew, number 57. Okay, I'm not going to name them all. Too many to name. What else? Anything stand out? Did CK Free for Calvin Klein, also Reveal Men. Corner Barcelona, did Sweet William. That's a cool bottle. Unisex frag. Clinique, he did Happy and Happy Smile Click. Commodity, he did Leather for Men. I like leather scents if they're good. May get my nose on that. Did a lot of the heavy hitters for Dolce & Gabbana's Highline release. A lot of their luxury line, which those are very high dollar. I think they start at around 160 and go north. So he did Velvet Desire, Velvet Love, Velvet Patchouli, Velvet Sublime, Velvet Vetiver, and finally Velvet Wood. And all of those are unisex except for Desire and Love, which are women only, if you believe in that sort of thing. Dana Bookman, luxury, cool bottle, kind of a zebra psychedelic pattern on the box. Not the bottle, but the box. Donna Karan, he did Black Cashmere, Karan Gold, Essence Labdanum, and Essence Wengi. And he did a bunch of Elizabeth Arden stuff. Estee Lauder. Forsyth did Verano Porteño. Unisex frag. Very cool bottle. Minimalist, but very contemporary at the same time. He did Gap, established 1969 for men, with sort of a light amber juice. Holly Berry did Holly Pure Orchid. Happenstance, 1922 Lily Sanguine. Some Hawthorne stuff, Hilary Duff, Ubigant, Fougère Royale for men. Very cool bottle. That dropped in 2010. And he's done almost the entire Varvatos line going back to, I believe, 2006. He did Vintage, Star USA, Rock Volume 1, Platinum Edition Varvatos, Varvatos Oud, 10th Anniversary Special Edition, Varvatos for Men Standard Edition, for women, Rebel Rider, Rebel, Artisan Pure, Artisan Black, Artisan Aqua, and finally Artisan. And most of those are heavy hitters and very highly acclaimed. Some have a lot of detractors and a lot of lovers, so very divisive. What else? Some Kenneth Cole, Kate Spade, Juicy Couture, Le Galion, and Lulu Guinness. Maria. Anyways, I think I'm going to stop. He's done too many things to even talk about, really. This guy stays busy. Wow. 6 Cents, Sentiburgas, very cool bottles. Those are unisex. Wouldn't mind smelling those. Nest, he did Wisteria Blue for women. Very gorgeous artistic bottle. That's a very recent release. This year, in fact, 2018. And he's done some Tom Ford heavy hitters. He did Atelier d'Orient Fleur de Chine, Jasmine Rouge, Neroli Portofino Aqua, and Sahara Noir. He did Eau de Prep Tommy for Hilfiger, True Religion for women, and finally 4 frags for Zinu, Aqua Madeira, Copala, Monstera, and Oronardo. And those are really, really out there artistic bottles. I highly recommend you check them out. And if just for the visuals, I don't even know what those smell like. But anyway, so with that out of the way, that long preamble about the nose and on all the lush, wonderful, interesting fragrances he's designed, let's get into the top notes, middle notes, heart notes, and the base. So, top notes: tobacco, juniper berries, nutmeg, sage, and cypress. And then in the middle notes, we get saffron, cinnamon, pepper, cardamom, cloves, Turkish rose, Egyptian jasmine, and osmanthus. And finally, in our base, we get agar wood, that's your oud, cedar, labdanum, apopanax, incense, myrrh, leather, and finally, amber. Yes, so there's a lot going on with this fragrance, but at the end of the day, we have to go more by the essence or the essence of a frag. What are the simple notes that we're getting? What are the takeaway accords that most impact us and impress our olfactory senses? So while it's fine and dandy to say that this has 21 or whatever it is, distinct different notes and accords, maybe, and I'm sure probably a lot more, micro notes and chemicals that are not being honestly talked about because it's sort of like industry practice, industry secrets, label secrets, whatever, branding secrets. So let's talk about what this fragrance is to me, and then we'll talk about anyways, let's start with that. So what I definitely get the oud straight away, boom. Oud present and accounted for, and it is definitely a little bit skanky. It's pungent. It's got some kick to it. It's not a ultra dialed back, neutered, overly westernized oud. So kudos to John Varvatos and company for keeping it fairly authentic. I believe this is an oud that most Arabic, Persian, and Middle Easterners could easily like and ascribe to and say, you know what? It's not identical and it's not quite as pungent or skanky, as a lot of the ouds that we use, not because they're not refined, but because that's sort of the going taste, and they are using very strong and pure ouds. There's lots of varieties of ouds, even in Africa, even in the Middle East, even in Persia, Iran, and all of those countries that were that Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates. So, but having said that, okay, I get some tobacco, but not as much as I would like. I wish it were more front and center along the lines of La Yuquam. Not quite that strong. I just wish it was approaching about half the strength of La Yuquam or Tom Ford's Tuscan leather. That would be a little bit more pleasing to my olfactory sensibility. I also would have liked a little vanilla in this, and there is none to be had in this frag, which, depending on your mood or how you view ouds, is either a good thing because vanilla is so often abused in oud fragrances. It's often used to sort of just absolutely cover and hide the oud. So I kind of understand the nose's desire, Rodrigo Flores Roux, to not use it as a component to sort of hide the oud, but at the same time, it would have given it a little bit more sweetness and creaminess. But having said that, this is a creamy scent because it has saffron. It's a little woodsy, which we're getting from the nutmeg, the cypress, the sage, the cedar in particular, along with the amber, incense, labdanum, osmanthus, and the pepper and cardamom and cinnamon and cloves, giving it this sort of spicy, woodsy accord. But I'm not gonna lie, I can't just sit here and like instantly detect each and every note. That's not the way this works. It's a little bit of an odd fragrance in the sense that the element of the oud, along with maybe like the Egyptian jasmine and the Turkish rose in particular, along with the juniper berries, I believe, and all of it certainly combined, along with the myrrh and the incense and the opopanax. It's both at once very, very intriguing and soft and sweet, but it's also a little bit sour from the oud notes. So there's a little bit of a very subtly, slightly off-putting vibe, probably from that mix and primarily from the oud. But at the same time, I like that authenticity. And overall, it is a very masculine fragrance, but I wouldn't say it's 100% masculine. I think this almost could be unisex, but definitely leaning heavily masculine, if that makes sense. I would say for the most part, it smells very natural, very high dollar ingredients, very effective, and it's quite complex. There's layers and layers of information going on here. There's layers of blending. I believe there's a harmony here. I believe there's at least 2 or 3 accords here. And so it's not necessarily an easy fragrance to instantly understand and get. And I think you need to give a fragrance like this time. You need to wear it more than once. You need to let it open up and breathe and do its thing, more than once before you come away with a hard, firm opinion about it. That's just my opinion. Each to their own, obviously. So again, my only tiny, tiny complaints, I would have liked a little bit of vanilla. And I would have liked the tobacco to be a little bit more prominent. Maybe if they put it in the base or the heart, I think that would have made it stand out. Maybe even both. I love tobacco fragrances. The leather in here is soft, somewhat suede-ish. It's sort of between a tobacco-y leather and sort of like a soft velveteen suede type leather. But I would have liked a little bit more rawhide type leather, a little bit more animalic. And I wouldn't have minded a little bit of aldehydes in here to make it sort of sparkle and give it a little more effervescence. All in all, though, it's a spectacular fragrance. Very intriguing, very complex. There's layers and layers of stuff going on here, and there's lots and lots of notes. I think overall the blend is sensational, but it's not necessarily the easiest fragrance to wear. And I can promise you, A lot of folks out there are not going to want to actually wear this. It's just not going to be up their sillage alley, perfume alley aromatique. So, but to each their own. If you like ouds, absolutely get your nose on this. Order a vial, a decant, or if you roll like that, just pull the trigger. You know, I'm actually realizing, I think I said I dropped 75 on this. I take that back. I think I got this for more like roughly 48 to 50 bucks. So that's way, way cheaper. I do believe the MSRP is between 150 and 185. And I think I did see one guy online selling it, well, asking for about 200. So, but this is a gorgeous bottle. Probably the finest in my collection. Certainly, arguably one of the finest. Again, fantastic presentation. Look at this box. Absolutely glorious. Fleur-de-lis. You know, you could just, if you want to display it like this on your shelf, or take it out. And like the fabulous Joy Amin says, get your eyes on them if you haven't. One of my favorite reviewers out there in the frag community on YouTube, out of Dhaka, Bangladesh. He doesn't ever throw away boxes if he can help it. And I know he would definitely never consider throwing away a magnificent box such as this. This is almost a work of art in and of its own right, with the gold banding, embossed letters on both sides. It does somewhat pick up grease and fingerprints. So if you're going to display the box, be a little bit careful. I can tell it kind of picks up detritus and lint and fingerprints quite easily. But other than that, very cool box. Awesome juice. I believe probably projection and sillage are going to be anywhere from average to good, but probably not great. This is not a beast mode frag, but at the same time, it's not weak either. So spray accordingly. Definitely very mature scent. I can't easily imagine anyone under the age of about 25, 28 rocking the scent, but I could be wrong. That's going to wrap it up, guys. Until next time, you know what I like to say? Spray often if it smells great. Spray well. Live life on your terms. If you like, please subscribe and hit the bell for future updates. See you guys next time. Peace.